We are going to make an emoji graph or emojigram, a combination of the words histogram and emoji, or portmanteau. So I stole this from a tutorial I saw a long time ago with Adobe Illustrator and a pencil design. And you can see the background kind of matches the topic of elementary school class size, and in school you use pencils, so pretty cool design. And what's extra cool about this one is that the pencils stretch and the erasers and tips stay the same size. But all right, so let's get back to this one. Same idea where the design, the sports match the AstroTurf grass background. And I even have an extra emoji question mark since we use emojis all over the place. But I think this is a good first Canva tutorial. You don't need premium, and it gets into layers, position, aligning, distributing, importing, exporting, saving. So here we go. I think it's easiest to get all the graphics you're going to need first. So at emojipedia.org, you can use the search box or come to the sidebar. And I just went to the activity navigation link and got the different sports balls. So some of these designs are not perfectly circle or square, and so they're a little trickier to use. They don't look quite as good. So try to get something with it doesn't really matter. Get something you're interested in and have fun with it. But just so you know, square, circle, 1-to-1 aspect ratio designs are better. And the trick to downloading these, students struggle with downloading them in class sometimes because there's these 3 tabs once you isolate your emoji design. And you want to come over and click on the specific emoji you want. And then once you're in this view, you can download it or drag it to your desktop. So like I said, you can download it and drag it to your desktop. Okay, so get some of those, get your, right, then back to activity, and then down to, say, the basketball. And then once again, second tab over, emoji designs. Pick which version you want, isolate it, basketball, and drag it and save it. Okay, so I got my my 4 columns I'm going to use, and then my question mark for my title. So let's go to Canva and create a new document. So here, canva.com is my home screen, and there's a plus create button. I just use my personal Gmail, but you could use your sonoma.edu account. And then from the plus button, I want a 1920 by 1080, 16 by 9 aspect ratio, resolution. And here we go. Because if you want to put this on a social post that people are going to see on their phone in portrait vertical mode, then you could use the opposite 1080 by 1920 resolution. But I'm going to put this on a YouTube cover. So, okay, so let's get our bar chart axes. Right, so I just clicked on the shape. This one, you might need to see all, and I don't know the exact. Sometimes if you hover over it, they tell you the exact name of these things. Like they have specific names, but this is just lines. First one. You could add the line with an arrow. I'm going to keep it more minimal. All right, so I'm going to drag it to the bottom right. Nice, we get this guide for action safe, title safe. I'm going to kind of use the smart guide, that vertical up and down, and then again my action safe, title safe, I don't know which one it is, comes up. And then I'm going to duplicate it, ... So let's see, duplicate. And then I'm going to move the duplicated version kind of off to the side and rotate it. I'm looking at that number for 90 exactly, and then letting go. And then I can reposition it. It looks like I get a snap into place. I could zoom way in. Why don't I do it? So now that I'm done with this shape dialog, I can, you don't want to be like squinting at the screen, so you want to do Command plus a bunch, and then you can really see and check to make sure that that joint there, where the axes come together, looks good. And then I'm going to do group it, And I'm going to do Command 0, Command minus a couple times to zoom back out. And now I'm ready to get my sports balls. So let's think. I think I did the tennis ball first. So here's my tennis ball. And I'm going to just make sure I'm kind of aligning it to the bottom and the left. And then drag the upper right corner in. And you want to get these emoji about the same size. So I'm going to kind of look and try to get right around 200 as close as I can. So that one got to 200 by 200. Then I can bring in the baseball. Whoop, I clicked on it, something happened. And again, look at make sure you're kind of aligning it, snapping in place to the left and on the bottom axis. And then drag the upper right corner handle and 200. All right, let's see, I can stack them. So now that I have 2, I'm gonna go Option and drag. I could do duplicate and reposition, but this is kind of nice. You get all these really good align. Oop, I waited too long. And then let go of the mouse and then let go of Option. So the Option key and a drag. It's the same on a Mac OS. It lets you Option drag a copy. So common shortcut for graphics and applications, Option drag to copy, and keep going with the football. Make sure the bottom's on the axis and it snaps into place on the left. And then I get the smart guide. I didn't even look, was that 200? Hopefully it was. Option drag up. Yes, looks like it was. And let's go kind of making the third one. And finally the soccer ball. Bring it in. Uh-oh, my control handle might go off screen, so I gotta scroll left. 200 by 200, let go. And then Option drag 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, so I think it's looking good. Let's see, click off to get rid of all the bounding boxes, transformation handles. The bottom kind of sits on the axis, but let's say someone looks at this and they want it to kind of go to the right a little and have a little more room in between the emoji or sports balls. So I'm going to group these. So 1, shift click, 2, shift click, shift click, shift click, and then do group. You could do a marquee drag. So the problem is the axis and the background lights up every time I try to select one of these sports balls. So you might need to lock this axis. So I'm going to lock the axis and then click off. And now if I try to kind of come in and marquee drag across the 3 footballs, then I can group them. And then I can group the space balls. You just got to remember in the future, if you try to edit any of the axes, that you have to unlock them. All right. So what I mean here, right, if your client says, I like how it looks, but I want to move this a little bit to the right. And then you're like, oh man, all my sports balls are misaligned or not distributed evenly. But what you can do is then you can marquee drag, shift click. You could even do it in the position view here, right? You can click on the first one and then shift click on the last one, or command click on them one at a time until they're all selected. And then you get this nice arrange and space evenly horizontal. And I think you can right click to get to this, right? So no, it's not letting me get there. But sometimes you can, the contextual menu lets you do it. I don't know, because I'm zoomed in too far. But anyways, you can also get it under the position, arrange menu, and I want horizontal, and then you see it distributes them or spaces them evenly. So looking good like that. If you want to mess with the vertical distribution, you could come in here and be a perfectionist, sorry. And then align to page. I'm looking for my space evenly, but anyway, sometimes you can right click and get space evenly as well. Right, so here we go, ... space evenly. All right, but anyway, so let's get some text. Right, so here's your art. I like the documentary Art and Copy. right? It's about the modern advertising world in 2009, and it features advertising companies or creative agencies about how they combine art and copy or text. So let's get back and add some copy to our art. So I'm going to go to text and let's see, add text box, search for fonts. Let's add some text. I think what I did is I searched for sports, right? So you want your font to kind of match the design. So you can search, right? And I got the Sports World font. So you could, all right. So just try to make the font match the design as well. So try searching whatever emoji you used. Maybe food, vegetables, fruits, I don't know. So, all right. So I'm going to click on this one, Sports World. And then it comes in tiny, but I can drag it so I can read it. And then I can X out and I can close the text panel. And then let's see, I'm gonna hit delete and enter and put caps lock on and then replace the font with lowercase, caps lock on, favorite, enter sport. And let's see, make it kind of big so it stays in that box. Maybe a little smaller on the left so the E looks like it's kind of centered. And grab my question mark emoji. So let's reposition it so I get, there we go, that middle smart guide lights up. And then bring in the question mark. Make it about 200, the same size, maybe a little bigger. And reposition it. Favorite sport. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. So looking pretty good. Favorite sport question mark. Let's get some grass in the background and then kind of do some final touches. Make sure it looks, you can read it with the grass in the background. So elements, photos, done with shapes. Scroll down. You probably search for photos, but here we go. See all photos. I just used this grass one. Let's see if we can find it again. Maybe I typed in soccer field. A lot of them are premium. If you try to use premium, you can't export, but I scrolled down a little and I found just this plain grass eventually, so you could type maybe something else to find it, but let's bring it in. Now you have to think about layers or stacking order, and I'm gonna click on this grass, ... and send to back, or Command-Shift left bracket. Nice Photoshop shortcut. So send back, you can see here, Command Option left bracket. No, all right, send it back. So, all right, let's make sure it's kind of outside the, covering up this whole image. And it's a little, I don't know, distracting. So I'm gonna go to the transparency and drop it down to like 50%, so it's not quite as bright. More attention to the other graphics, not the background. So when I do this, I kind of lose my my axes lines. So I want to click on these guys and unlock them. So under position, I want to come to my axes and control click unlock, Command Option L. And now, let's see, now I can come over here to the weight or stroke weight, and let's see, it doesn't, looks like about 10 is fine. And now it kind of messed up my little joint there, so maybe I want to click on one. And the problem is they're still grouped here as well, so you might even have to ungroup them to move them independently. So ... ungroup here. Now I can like click on the bottom one and move it into place. Oop, be careful. See, when you start clicking near these designs, maybe I can grab this one and move it into place. There we go. And so now let's see, now I want to kind of move all the emoji up and to the right a little. So, see again, once you start getting all these graphics, you might need to kind of lock them in place or start doing your selections through the layers, the position, layers, panel, or view. Okay, so now I can use the up and down arrows in my keyboard so I can hit. All right, I guess I can't. Usually you can, but let's reposition them. Oh, are they locked? No, the tennis ball got locked somehow. All right, unlock the tennis ball, control click, unlock. Click, shift click. Now up arrow. Usually you can use up arrow on the keyboard because then you don't have the bounding box lit up when you use up arrow. But all right, so I might need to extend this a little, but you can see it looks pretty good. Close your panels, zoom out, Command minus, and there you go. So you might want to give it a file name. Right now it's your paragraph text, and when you export it, it'll be named your paragraph text. So I'm going to call this my Emojigram 2, let's say. And then share, download, PNG's fine, JPEG's a little smaller, so maybe JPEG, more compressed, smaller file size. All right, so here's my number 2. Looks good. And now when someone asks you to make a chart, a column graph, bar chart, you can make something cool instead of just boring colored bars on Excel or numbers or the Google one. All right, so images, Google chart, Google graph, I don't even know what it's called. All right, so submit. I always get the question, how do I add an attachment in Canva? So I try to do this. Reply. Reload. And there you have it. All right. Hope you had fun.